On day 1, I spawned in as Superman. Oh yeah, look at me, I'm Superman. But wait, all my powers seemed to have disappeared and I felt really weak. Before I could spend too much time analyzing my abilities, I was attacked by a bunch of creepers. Get away from me, you mad creepers. I thought about running away, but I fought through and in no time I had destroyed the creepers. I then went ahead into a little cave and slept there for the night. On day 2, I left the cave and started wandering around and entered a nearby forest. Time to chop up some trees. I started punching down trees until my fists were starting to hurt, and then I set up a crafting table to make myself some wooden tools. I made all the tools I was going to need and then entered a nearby cave since wood would not get me that far, so I better get some stone. In the cave, I managed to find some coal along with plenty of stone. As I was mining, I suddenly heard a scream from a kid, and I went ahead and checked it out, and there was a kid surrounded all by mobs. So I quickly rushed the mobs and told that kid, hang tight, and managed to fight off all the mobs with my sword since I was still pretty weak. Then I turned to the little boy, and before I could speak to him, another mob came out of nowhere, so I finished him off. I then went back and turned to the boy.
Please don't hurt me.
Hurt you? Why would I hurt you?
So you're not gonna hurt me?
No, of course not. I don't want to hurt anyone. What are you even doing down here in this cave?
A giant zombie came to our village and destroyed it, so I ran away to hide in this cave. The zombie was really big and scary. Do you think it's safe to go back out there?
It might still be scary out there, so the best thing to do is probably just stay in the cave and check things out tomorrow. On day 3, the boy and I left the cave and went to check things out. Hopefully everything is under control and not too crazy. The boy showed me the way to his house, but it was completely destroyed and the boy was really sad. I wonder who would do such a thing. I then heard a howl from afar and told the boy, let's get out of here until we are a safe distance away. On the way while we were running, a werewolf came out of nowhere. Hang on boy, I'll take care of this. I ran right into action hitting the werewolf. It was really vicious, but I wasn't going to let it hurt this boy. Soon enough, it finally went down. I heard more howls from a distance and told the boy, let's get out of here before we get into more trouble. It was time to start building us a shelter. First off, I put together a set of stone tools so I could get any job done. Then I got straight to work to put us together a simple house so we could stay in and have some shelter. It was nothing too big because we needed something quick and needed a place to call home. Once the house was done, I went ahead and placed some torches around the house to stop mobs from spawning. We survived another day. Who knew what surprises we had coming next? After getting out of bed, I went ahead and left the house to get some food for me and the kid. We weren't gonna last out here if we didn't have something to eat. Oh look, pigs! I spotted some pigs, so I rushed over to attack them. I quickly knocked all of them out and collected all their meat. Then out of nowhere, Batman came out of the trees. Batman, what are you doing here?
There has been a huge monster that has been destroying the villages in the area. I tried to face it myself, but it was too powerful.
Oh man, if you can't beat him, how can I? I'm so weak right now.
You know there is a cave around here that contains something I think that might help you.
He explained where I needed to go, so I set off to see what he was talking about. I then started searching for what he was talking about, which took a pretty long time. Then I finally found what he was talking about. I decided to enter the cave, and on the way down, I was met with 2 creepers. One of them blew up on me, which hurt me pretty bad, but the other one was a piece of cake. And at last, I found the crystal, so I went ahead and picked it up and suddenly can feel my powers and never felt better. I then made my way back up from the cave and I tested out some flying. I then realized I ate all the food I was supposed to get for the kid, so I went searching for food, and while searching for food, 2 zombies came out of nowhere, so I used my sword to finish them off. I then spotted some cows and collected their meat, and after that I went ahead and flew back home. Once I arrived back home, I went straight to the furnace and cooked us some beef. Once it was finally cooked, I gave some to the boy and we ate it right up. We then decided to head to bed since it was turning pretty dark. We then woke up and heard a knock on the door. It was Batman.
How are you feeling about your powers now? This giant zombie is nearby and maybe together we can defeat it.
Yeah, together I'm sure we will have a chance. I then followed Batman out and across the land. We soon arrived and I could see a village all on fire and burning. I wonder who's doing this. We have to stop this. Then out of nowhere, a giant zombie came and started chasing us. I got this, Batman. I sprung into action and started swinging my sword, and I could feel I had my super strength back. It was not long until I finally took the giant zombie out. Me and Batman made our way closer to the small village and it was all destroyed. I then took a closer look and no one survived, which really upset us, and we had to make sure this never happens again. We then made our way back to the house and went inside. I then told Batman to hang inside while I make him his own room so we could relax and heal back up. I then told Batman to hang inside while I make him his own room so he could relax and heal back up. I got straight to work. First thing I did was empty out some dirt to make it more flat. I then went ahead and broke the floor and placed it with some wood. And after that, I put up all the walls and then finished it off with the roof. I then went inside and furnished it with a bed, chest, and a furnace for him. I told Batman to check out the room I made him once it was done and he seemed pretty happy. We then all went to sleep and got ready for the next day. I then woke up and Batman told me to come into his room. I then saw some bookshelves and he opened it like a door, which was awesome. He then went inside of it and went down a ladder and I followed right after him. I wonder what he built in there. Oh my god, this is awesome, Batman. He made his own little bat cave, which would be so helpful so he could do his work down here. I then went outside to collect some iron and a giant zombie was outside of the house standing there. Oh boy, here we go. I charged it before it could attack the house and started hitting it with my sword. I got some good hits with it and my sword broke. I realized I could still defeat it with my fist if my powers are back. It was a good battle, but eventually I took it out. Whew, that was close. I wonder how many more there is. I then went ahead and went into a cave and mined some iron to upgrade my tools. I then went back to the house and melted the iron, but realized I needed some coal to burn the rest, so I headed back to the cave and collected some coal. Then I headed back to the house and placed it in the furnace. After melting the iron, I went ahead and went to get some food for the house, and I used my heat vision on some cows, which was awesome. It even cooked the cow's meat. After using my heat vision against the cow, some crazy fast zombies came out of nowhere and started attacking, and there was a horde of them. I used my heat vision against them and my punching. It looked like they just kept on coming, so I flew up, hovering, getting the height advantage, and shooting my laser down at them so they can't hit me. After hitting them with my laser and making them weak, I used my punching power and took them all out. For the next couple of days, I decided to go out and get more skill points and learn new powers, so I faced the creatures and mobs and getting more skillful with my powers and practicing against them. Then out of nowhere, while I was fighting mobs, a scary man appeared with white glowing eyes. What the? Who are you? He didn't seem like he could talk and he was just staring at me. So I then decided to go forward and it would hurt me. I tried swinging at it, but it did nothing but only hurt myself. I had enough and decided to use my heat vision on it. Yeah, that should do the trick. I shot my heat vision at him and it went right through him. What the? That's impossible. I began to panic and flew out of there. The next day I woke up to a loud bang, then I opened my eyes and saw some of the houses broken. I then sent the little boy down to Batman's secret cave and went to the front to see who did this. I then saw Hulk. What are you doing, Hulk? He just kept making mad groaning noises. I then realized he's probably out of control. I tried to talk him out of it, but he wasn't budging. I then used my freeze breath on him, and he started getting more out of control and jumping around everywhere. It looked like he couldn't even contain himself. He then came back and Hulk smashed me and I took quite a bit of damage. I had to make sure he wouldn't attack the kid hiding, so I had to fight back. I then came back at him and shot my heat vision straight at him. He then hit me with his powerful punch, which knocked me pretty far back. I then used my freeze breath and charged him with my sword and used my heat vision on him once again. After using that final heat vision on him, he started to get hurt and he ran away. Whew, that was close. The house was all on fire from my heat vision, so I tried to take out the fire. But at the end of it, the whole house almost came down, which is a bummer. But gladly, no one got hurt. I then decided to start rebuilding a new house, and this time to make it look nice. Once I started building it, out of nowhere, a huge nether portal opened up in the air, and nether mobs started dropping all on me. There was a lot of them, so instead of fighting them on land, I decided to hover in the air and use my freeze breath on them, and then I used my supersonic punch on them, and they all flew. After a long battle with the nether mobs, I finally took them all out. That was really unexpected. I then went on, started building the house again. I started by breaking all the dirt on the floor and replacing it with some oak wood. I wanted this house to have a nice modern feel, so I tried to do just that. And after what felt like forever, the house got completed. And right next to the pool, in between the chairs, I put a trapdoor for Batman's secret cave. I realized my suit was about to break, so I went hunting for a crystal that has the power of making a new suit. Once I went a little mining, I finally found what I was looking for, and I mined the crystal. Once I mined it, I got the new suit. Oh yeah, I like this. This is the recovery suit, which will help with battles and recovery. I then went ahead and went mining for some diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe. I wanted to see how I match up against the Ender Dragon and how fast I can defeat it. I think this will be a piece of cake. I then made a diamond pickaxe and collected some water so I could go back down and find some lava to get some obsidian. Once I got all the obsidian I needed, I went ahead and went back to the house. After that, I went ahead and built the nether portal. Let's see how it can handle the nether. I went ahead and went searching for some blazers and came across a bunch of weather skeletons. And their damage didn't even affect me. I also found some diamonds in the chest. And after some searching, I came across a blaze spawner. I then started using my freeze breath on them and then finishing them off, which worked perfectly, and me being able to fly made this a whole lot easier. I went ahead and started killing every blazer I saw, and once I got enough blaze rods, I went ahead and went back to the portal and went back home. I then went ahead and made the blaze rod into some blaze powder, and went ahead and crafted some Eye of Ender so we can locate the stronghold and go to the end. After locating the stronghold with the Eye of Ender, I went ahead and placed all 12 in the portal, and the end opened up. I don't want to waste any time, and let's take out this Ender Dragon. I entered the end and right away started taking out the Ender Crystals. I tried using my heat vision on it, but looks like it did nothing, so I used my handy pickaxe to destroy them. I went ahead and did that for every Ender Crystal. After destroying all of the Ender Crystal, I went ahead and went straight for the Ender Dragon, shooting my heat vision and using my punching power. And after just about a minute, using my laser and super strength, I defeated the Ender Dragon. Whoa, that was actually easier than I thought. And then went ahead and collected all of the XP the Ender Dragon dropped. I then headed back home, and when I went home, there was a guy in the air just waiting there. And it looked like he was just expecting me. Who are you?
I'm General Zod. I'm from Krypton. I've been waiting 33 years for this day until I detected a distress beacon, which you triggered. You led me here, and now it is within your power to save your race, Krypton, which is dying. Krypton can live once again on Earth.
If Krypton lives again, what happens to Earth?
The foundation has to be built on something. I will wipe every single being, village, and moving thing so Krypton can live once again.
No, Zod. I can't be a part of this and let that happen. We both attacked each other with our heat vision and knocked each other back. I then charged General Zod and hit him with my supersonic punch, which knocked him back and hurt him pretty bad. I then hit him with my heat vision once again while in the air. We then both charged at each other, hitting with our super strength. I can't let Zod win. I have to beat him. We both went at it, hitting each other with some good hits. I then finally started winning the battle, landing way more hits on him than he did on me. And after a very long battle, I used my final heat vision on him and took General Zod out for good. Thank God I defeated him, because who knows what he would have done. I then made my way back to the house and the little boy was there.
Hey, where were you? You were gone for ages.
I'm sorry kid, it's a long story. I'll tell you all about it. Where's Batman?
Doing Batman things?
Yup, typical Batman.